then looking at the questions, reading the comprehension, then you start answering the questions one at a time, referring back to the passage, ensuring that you answer the questions, you respond to the question, using grammatical language. Okay. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Yes. And then there are various kinds of questions. There are those that require you just to refer to the passage and get information. Okay. They're called the recall questions. Okay. There are those questions that you are required to summarize the information from the passage. Okay. Where you are told to summarize in a number of words. Okay. When you're answering, you need to follow the rules of writing a summary. Okay. Yeah. I'm saying there are those questions. There is a question on summary writing where you are supposed to summarize information from the passage. Okay. Are we together? There's a question with quite a number of marks, and you need to follow the rules of summary writing. Okay. Summary writing, where you write, first of all, you need to identify the points and write them as a rough copy. Okay. Are we together? Yes. Then you summarize using a paragraph, and you ensure that you don't exceed the number of words that the question requires you to summarize. Okay. The number of words. Then you can also be asked to write to answer in notes form, where you just list down the points, either numbering them or identifying them using dots or arrows. Okay. Are we together? Yes. Then there is there is normally a question on grammar. You are told to maybe rewrite a sentence or use add a question tag, use a phrasal verb. Such questions on grammar can also appear in a comprehension. You can also have questions that normally require you to give the meaning of words used in the passage. So you need to go back to where that word has been used and try to get the meaning, how it has been used in that context. Okay. Yes. So that is comprehension. Then question two. Question two is a context question. Is a context question. Is a context question or an extract. An extract. An extract from a book. For example, Fathers of Nations. Okay. Yes. Last time we looked at Fathers of Nations. I believe you can remember the plot of what you need to know is the plot of the book. That is the sequence of events, the way events come in the book. You also need to know the themes, because you can be asked about the themes in the excerpt given. You can also be asked about stylistic devices. in the excerpts. You can also be asked about the character traits of some of the characters that appear in that excerpt. Uh, Remember, when you are asked about character traits, you need to identify the character, and a character is normally an adjective like hardworking, hypocritical. Uh, there are positive character traits like hardworking, like honest, like principled. Okay, there are negative ones like hypocritical, dishonest. Okay, we have like hypocritical characters like Dr. Afolabi. Okay, uh, we have uh, maybe hardworking characters like Fiona. You can see Fiona working hard as a reporter in the Gambian news, and now she has been seconded to work with the VOA. Okay. Uh, so it depends with the excerpts and what the character is doing in that excerpt. Okay. And then you need to illustrate. When you say that a character is hardworking like Fiona, you can explain that she has been seconded to VOA after working hard in the Gambian news. Okay, are we together? Yes. Then the themes, you also need to explain the marital. You need to illustrate the themes. If you identify a theme, like for example, bad governance, uh, you can illustrate like the issue of the parliament uh, increasing their salaries at the expense of the other workers uh, in Kenya. Okay, you can also, like in Zimbabwe, the leader of the Zimbabwe, the bomber, uh, uh, removing the opposition leaders from the government and even uh, oppressing them. Okay, through various ways like killing them, demolishing their property, and so on. Okay, so you need to illustrate. Okay, then stylist, you can also be asked a question on stylistic devices in the excerpt, where now you can talk about uh, stylistic devices like dialogue, flashback, uh, figurative language, okay, description, allusion, and so on. Okay. Uh, you can also be asked questions on the meaning of words from the excerpt. So, as I said, it is important that when you read, when you are revising the book, when you're revising the book, uh, you can ensure that any word that you don't understand, you check it up so that you can know the meaning of that word, even before it is brought in an excerpt. Okay. Okay, the meaning of, then you can also have other questions, grammar questions. You can also have grammar questions. You can be told to rewrite sentences. You can be asked to replace words with the phrasal verbs, or a phrasal verb with a word, or question tags, or change a word to change a sentence to a question, and so on. Okay, are we together? Yes. Then question 3. question 3, we discussed last time the issue of poetry. Okay. Poetry in paper 2 is where you're asked to maybe you're given a poem and then you ask questions like identify the persona. Identify the persona. I think we discussed that the other day and we said the persona is the voice that has been created by the poets in the poem. Okay. The poet creates voice to speak depending on the message the poet wants to put across. For example, uh, if for example it's about for example the poet wants to speak about issues in the society. He can create he can look at it from different angles. He can look at it from the angle of the victim. For example, the victim can speak. A victim is like, for example, uh, if it's about somebody who is, if you want to talk about poverty, uh, the poet can speak through the voice of a poor person. The poor person can explain how the poverty is affecting him, okay? Or he can explain who is causing the poverty, okay? Are we together? From that point, the poor person can speak, okay? Are we together? Yes. On the other, from another angle, it could be an observer, somebody who is observing a poor person uh, suffering. For example, there is a poem in New Horizons, page 1, uh, which talks about a poor person, a pauper. It's entitled Pauper. Have you in book 4 of New Horizons? Okay, the first page. If you go back to school, you can check it. The first poem is entitled. The first page there is a poem entitled "The Pauper," and it talks about the condition of a poor person, and it also talks about what might have caused this poverty. Okay, so a poet can talk about issues through the voice of the victims or observers, okay, or even sympathize somebody who is sympathizing, or uh, if it is about motherhood, it could be the mother who is talking, or the child talking about his experiences with the mother. If it is about racism, it could be the fact, the victim of race, the person who is a victim of racism. Okay. Yes, and you can see the concept of the persona is very important, because once you identify the persona, you can easily be able to identify what the poem is about. Okay. What the poem is about. If it is about racism, if you identify the persona as somebody who is suffering because of racism, then it will be easy to identify the what the poem is about. And we said when you ask about what the poem is about, You explain what is the persona saying in summary. What is the persona saying in summary? Yes, you say what he is saying in the first stanza, second stanza, third stanza, and then what is the conclusion. Okay. Then there is the issue of the message in the poem. Sometimes you ask about the message in the poem. The message is the issue that the poet is trying to put across, or the issue that the poet is trying to put across, so that the audience can get that issue. The issue that the poet is focusing on, as I've said, it can, for example, focus on racism, the way people suffer because of racism. Okay, it can be the issue of maybe poverty, the way people are suffering because of poverty, or those people who are causing poverty in the society. The issues that the author is trying to focus on is what we mean by the message in the poem. Okay. Then there are stylistic devices in the poem. Stylistic devices in the poem. We discuss them, and we have those that the sound patterns, the ones that help bring out the rhythm of the poem, like the rhyme, the assonance, the alliteration, okay, and uh, the lines, okay, in the stanza, okay. You can have the short lines, similar number of lines in each stanza. The structure of the poem. There are those that are concerned about the structure of the poem. Then there are those other stylistic devices that have to do with the language, uh, the the figurative language, or the imagery, that is the use of similes, metaphors, okay, irony, satire, okay, sarcasm, uh, all those stylistic devices uh, can be common in, in a poem, okay. Again, you can be asked about the mood, in the poem, the general atmosphere in the poem, uh, and the mood might govern the way when, for example, you are performing your poem, might govern your facial expressions. Okay, so we have a happy mood, okay, a sorrowful mood, a sad mood, okay, melancholic mood, serious mood, satirical. Okay, are we together? Then we have attitude. Attitude. Attitude is the feeling of maybe the persona, or maybe it can extend to the poets. The feeling towards whatever they are saying, or towards the subject matter. Okay, the way they are speaking, you can tell whether uh, these people respect whatever they are talking about. Are they respectful? If they are talking about a person, are they respectful to that person, or are they disrespectful? Do they like that person? Do they dislike that person? Are they bitter about what they are saying? Okay. Are they sarcastic? Okay. Sarcastic is when you want to to criticize something or somebody by saying the opposite, or talking using indirectly opposite of what you mean. Okay, so there is mood, there is attitude, there is also tone. Tone is the quality of the voice, the voice, sympathetic. Okay, so if you have a lot of sympathy about what you are saying, the words that you use, will be sympathetic. Okay, and therefore we will talk about sympathetic tone. Okay, sympathetic tone. Okay, serious. Sometimes when you are talking about serious issues, there are words that you use to show that you are serious, and even the quality of your voice. Okay, to show that you are serious. Sarcastic. Sarcastic is when you want to criticize you are critical of somebody, and sometimes you use words to criticize that person. You can use direct words, or you can use words to say the opposite of what you would like to mean. For example, if somebody has very shaggy hair, you can tell him, I can see today you have pretty hair. Okay, not that you believe that the hair is pretty. You are criticizing that person, and when you use the word pretty, it has more impact. Okay, it has more impact than just telling them your hair is shaggy. Okay, that person will think about it. Okay, will think more about it when you say they are pretty and they know they are not pretty. Then uh, it has more impact. That is what I mean. So the tone is the quality of the voice. The quality of the voice. Okay. When you are criticizing someone, you can use a sarcastic tone. Okay. A harsh tone. Okay. Angry tone. Okay. Sympathetic tone. Okay. What can be conveyed using your voice is what we mean by tone. Okay. Is what we mean by tone, and that is an aspect of a poem. You can be asked the tone in the poem. So there are those three aspects: mood, tone, and attitude, which we need to, we need to be able to differentiate whenever we are given a poem. So when we have time, we'll look at individual poems, okay, and see whether you can be able to identify mood, tone, attitude, identify stylistic devices, identify the subject matter, the message, and the persona. Okay, are we together? Yes. Then uh, an alternative question for this is the oral literature question. Okay, the one that we were discussing the other day. Hello, the oral literature, where you have questions on on oral narrative, then short forms. There are three types. That is oral narratives, uh, oral poetry, and then short forms. Okay, can be based on any of the three. It can be either oral narrative, and you know about oral narratives. You have several types. You have the trickster, the no, the ogre narrative, uh, explanatory, dilemma, uh, the legend. Okay, and even human tale. Okay, I gave you the notes. You can go through them. Uh, then on oral poetry, these are songs, kinds of songs or kinds of poetry, and we have many types also depending on the occasion they were performed. Like for example, lullabies, children's songs, work songs, war songs, dirges. These are funeral songs, uh, political songs, uh, all manner of songs. Okay. Then short forms, we have proverbs, tongue twisters, and riddles. Riddles, we looked at them in paper one. Okay. Uh, for oral narratives, you can be asked questions like stylistic devices. Okay. Where you can have stylistic devices like dialogue, flashback, uh, figurative language, that is metaphors and similes. You can have onomatopoeia, ideophones. Okay, you can be asked about the character traits of the characters. And normally we have characters who have negative character traits, like in trickster narratives we have greedy characters like the hyena. Okay, then we have cunning characters like the hare, or clever ones like the hare. Then we have proud characters. Okay, you might find somebody who is very proud, like because of maybe their size, like the elephant is proud because of the size, and when the hare challenges the elephant feels that the hare is a very small animal and should not be challenging him, and you tell him, no, I cannot even compete with you. Okay, because I'm very big, I can finish you in a moment, or I can uh, beat you in that contest very quickly. And the hare can use tricks, okay, to beat the elephant. So it shows that it is important to have to be clever than to have that to be to have a lot of energy. Okay, you can have a lot of energy, but if you're not clever, then somebody who has no energy and is clever can still defeat you. And you should not be proud because of something that you have, because you are very fast or you are very strong. Okay, you can still be defeated by others who are not uh, who don't have what you possess, but have they are clever. Okay, so those narratives teach uh, virtues, that is good behavior and bad behavior, like the ogre stories. They teach good behavior in relationships, good behavior in relationships. For example, in ogre stories, in most cases, there is a character, a girl who is very beautiful, but she rejects the young men around her village, and then there is a young man who comes from very far, and she easily accepts her. It shows us that, and then that young man turns out to be an ogre later. It shows that in a relationship, we should be careful. We should be careful, uh, cautious. We should have that cautious character when we are entering into relationships. Okay. And then there is the courageous person who goes and saves her, maybe a brother. Okay. So it also encourages people to be courageous. Okay. So those are the virtues. Virtues. It encourages virtues, good behavior, and discourages vices, bad behavior. Okay. Uh, Again, in narratives, you can be asked about moral lesson. Moral lesson, in most cases, uh, should be based on a virtue. That is a positive behavior. Like, we should be cautious whenever we are entering new relationships. Okay. Uh, the girl in the Ogre story hurriedly entered in a relationship and ended up suffering by, she was almost killed by an ogre. So it is discouraging or encouraging a virtue. So the moral lesson should mention that virtue that is being encouraged. Okay? Okay? Hello? Are you still there? Yes. So in narratives, we need to know the character traits, we need to know the stylistic devices, we need to know the uh, moral lessons in the story. We need to know the setting. The setting is the economic activities, uh, the religious activities, and the cultural activities. Okay. Along as you read the story, you'll see economic activities. These are the activities that they normally engage in, that community. They normally engage in for their living. And examples could be livestock keeping. Okay. The most common examples: livestock keeping, uh, hunting, which other one? Blacksmithing, basket making or weaving. Okay. So you'll find those ones. Cultural activities are like circumcision, marriage, polygamy. Okay. Religious activities is like when they worship, the sacrifice, making sacrifices, or praying or worshiping. Okay. Then political activities, they could have a king or a council of elders. Okay, to solve disputes or to give guidance in the community. Okay. Yes. We also have oral poetry that I said this could be like a song, and it has features like repetition. That is repetition of certain lines, like a chorus, call and response pattern, where you have a soloist and several others responding to the soloist. It's called as call response pattern. Okay. It could also have direct translation, especially if it is directly translated from a language. It will be seen from the poem, from the song. Okay. Yes. Now, the next topic now is grammar. Okay. The last topic in paper 2 is grammar. And grammar is about parts of speech. Okay. What are the parts of speech? Yes. Let me jog your mind. For example, you have nouns. Mhm. Yes. Pronouns, verbs, conjunctions, adverbs, adjectives. Okay. Yes. In other words, parts of speech are categories that words are arranged in categories. Okay. Like names of objects, people, concepts, conditions. They are called what? Nouns. Okay. Are we together? Yes. Then words that can stand in place of nouns, they are called pronouns. Okay. Uh, Words that express actions and state of being and even a condition, they are called show action. They express action, uh, state of being or condition, verbs. Words that describe a noun, adjectives. Words that describe a verb or modify a verb, adverbs. Adverbs. Uh, Words that join two words or two phrases or two sentences together, conjunctions. Conjunctions. Words that relate a noun to another noun. For example, if you are sitting somewhere, I believe, Sidio, you are sitting where? You are sitting where? On a chair. So there is a word that shows relationship between you and the chair. Which word is that? On. Okay. Those are called what? Prepositions. Good. Then we have words that show whether a noun is definite or indefinite. Mhm. A word that shows whether a noun is definite or indefinite. Huh? Article. It's called an article. A, an, and the. You have forgotten that. They are very important words. A, and the. Yes, a, an, and the. They are called articles. We also have words that express strong emotions. When you're extremely happy, that word can express that. When you're extremely annoyed or you feel extreme pain. What do you call those words? Strong emotions, like when you are very happy, or when you are very sad, or when you feel extreme pain, like when you step on something sharp. Which word do you use to express that pain? Like when you say ouch, when you step on something sharp. What do we call those words? What do you call them? Inter- All yes, yes, interjections. Okay. Now, apart from those parts of speech, in grammar we also look at phrases. We also look at what? Phrases. Phrases are two or more words. They can't stand on their own, but they are based on a particular word, like a noun. We have, for example, noun phrases. If we have a noun like ball, when we are trying to form a sentence, we can combine ball with other words like articles and adjectives. Okay, like for example, the brown ball. We can call it the brown ball. Okay, so when a phrase is based on a certain noun, like that phrase is based on a noun, it is called a noun phrase. It's called a what? And a noun phrase is important when we are trying to form a sentence. Okay. Yes. We also have others based on adjectives, and we call them adjectival uh, phrases. These are based on an adjective. Uh, for example, uh, for example, we said an adjective describes a noun. Dio, okay, it describes a what? A noun. So any phrase that describes a noun is an adjectival phrase. Okay. Uh, for example, for example, the ball is a phrase that describes that ball. The ball is, is white. Is, for example, the ball is white in color. Okay, so white in color is a phrase describing the ball. Okay. Yes, we also have adverbial phrases. Adverbs we say uh, describe or modify nouns. For example, he was stung by bees. Okay, the stinging was done by bees. Okay, so we also have prepositional phrases like on the chair. He sat on the chair. On the chair is a prepositional phrase. Okay, then we also have clauses. Clauses are part of a sentence, but they are much longer than phrases. And the major difference is that they are meaningful. Okay. For example, we came to school late because uh, it was raining heavily. Okay. So there we have we came to school is a clause, and then it was raining heavily is another clause. They have been brought together by because, so we have two clauses there. That is what we call clauses. Okay. And we also have various types of clauses. We have adverbial clauses, adjectival clauses. Okay. Adverbial clauses and adjectival clauses. Okay. And when you bring two clauses together, it gives rise to compound sentences. Sometimes it gives rise to compound sentences, complex sentences, okay, and complex sentences, okay. Now, in terms of parts of speech, in terms of nouns, you need to know about how they behave, especially when uh, they are used in sentences, okay. The some now you need to know about the plural of nouns, okay. The types of nouns, we have types of nouns. We have three major types. That is, what are the three major types of nouns? We have the concrete nouns, the collective nouns, and the abstract nouns, okay? Yes, the concrete nouns are the ones that maybe we can touch and feel, and we have countable and uncountable, okay? Or common, they are also called common nouns. We have the common nouns. Uh, no, we have the common nouns. Then common nouns are divided into concrete and abstract, okay? Concrete and abstract. Concrete are the ones that we can touch. Abstract are the ones that we can't touch, okay? Then we have the collective nouns, which refer to a group like a swarm of bees, okay? Or a crowd of people. Then number three, we have proper nouns. Proper nouns are names of people and places, okay? So you need to differentiate between those three because when you are writing, like proper nouns, they are always you start in capital letters, okay? We have concrete nouns which can be countable and uncountable, and it's important because of singular and the plural forms of nouns, okay? Are we together? Yes. Then we also have gender of nouns. Gender of nouns. Did you study that in school? That is where a noun can be specific. That is, you can know it is referring to a female or a male. For example, husband, we know that it is referring to a male person, sindio? Or a wife, or which other one? Wife refers to female, sister refer to female, brother refer to male. So there are some words which are gender specific, and that is where we talk about gender of nouns, okay? And also pronouns. Pronouns. There are some which are feminine and others masculine, okay, and others neutral, okay? Yeah. So those are some of the things to look at when you are looking at nouns, although there are others like subject, the functions of nouns. Sometimes a noun can function as a subject or an object, okay? Uh, Verbs. What do you need to know about verbs? You need to know about whether how to use verbs in a sentence in the right tense, in the right what? Tense, and in the right aspect. Tense means time. We have three, three, three forms. We have the past tense, present tense, and the future tense. Okay. Then again, the correct aspects. It could be continuous. Okay. It could be in the past, but that action is continuous. Okay. It could be in the past, but that action is complete. So it could be simple. Okay, or perfect. So we have three of them, the four of them. We have simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. Okay, are we together? Yes, like present continuous. For example, I I am going to the market. That is present continuous. Okay. Perfect continuous. I have gone to the market. I have gone to the market. Uh, Simple. I go to the market every day. Okay, that is simple. Okay. Perfect continuous. I have been going to the market every day last week. Okay, are we together? You can see those four aspects and the in terms of present tense. It will apply also to past tense. I was going to the market last week, present continuous. I went to the market last week, simple. um, I had been going to the market every day until last week. Okay, that is past perfect, continuous perfect. I had gone to the market when the thieves entered my house uh, yesterday. Okay, so you can see aspects and tense, they go together. Okay. Yes. Then we have another way of looking at verbs. That is, you can look at verbs in terms of main verbs and auxiliary verbs. Okay. Auxiliary verbs are used with main verbs in order to form various tenses and aspects, uh, or to express various aspects. And we have be, that is be, have, and do. Those are the three main, they are called primary auxiliary verbs. Then we have modal auxiliary verb like can, may, might, uh, must, ought to, need to. Okay. Uh, the modal auxiliary verbs are used to express certain uh, moods that accompany verbs, like must. Must expresses a meaning of uh, something being compulsory. Something being what? Compulsory. You must go to school. It means there is no choice. Okay? It's like a command, commanding. It expresses the meaning of a command. Okay? Others express something like permission, you may come in. Okay? Or request, may I come in? Okay? Are we together? Yes. Another aspect of verbs that we can look at is transitive and intransitive verbs. Have you looked at those in school? Transitive and intransitive forms of a verb. Yes. Uh, because of time, we might not look at most of these things in detail, but when we meet next, we'll be looking at each topic and looking at it exhaustively and doing some exercises. Okay? Are we together? So those are some of the aspects on verbs. We also have adjectives, and adjectives. The most outstanding issue about adjectives is that they they have the superlative and the comparative form. Okay, like tall, taller, tallest. Okay, are we together? Yes. Then adverbs, they modify verbs, and they sometimes also they have the superlative and the comparative form. Okay, yes, and they help form clauses, and even adjectives help form clauses. Prepositions, as we said, they show a relationship between two nouns. Okay, conjunctions, they join two phrases together, or two clauses, or even two sentences. Okay, yes. Uh, Pronouns, uh, the issue about pronouns is that they have very many forms. Uh, Pronouns can change depending on the person. For example, I I represent the first person. That's the person who is speaking. He represents the person who is being spoken to. No, about. You represent the person uh, who is being spoken to, and they can change depending on the person, and they can also change depending on whether they are performing the role of subject or object. Like me is objective, I is subjective. Okay, they can also change it because of how many, the number, whether they are plural or singular, such that you have I is singular, we is plural. Okay, so they change depending on how they are being used in a sentence. So in terms of person, in terms of number, in terms of gender, even gender, like he and she. Okay, yes, and depending on the case. The case is whether they are performing as subject or object. Uh, so we are going to look at grammar. That was just an introduction. We are going to look at grammar in detail. There is a need to do a lot of practice on each aspect, on some of those aspects. Uh, when we have enough time, uh, So you are going to school. You are going back to school on Monday or Tuesday. So I think we can, for now, for this holiday, I think we can stop today. Then we can continue later. You are doing which book? Optional book? Mm. Uh, I'm talking about now you are doing the Samaritan, which is the next book that you do in school. Silent Song. Okay. So when you come over the holiday now, we can look at a Silent Song in detail. Okay. We can also review uh, the Samaritan after you are through with it in school. Studio. And also we can also look at the Fathers of Nations again. Okay. Yeah. Uh, or there is any outstanding issue that you think we should talk about before you go back to school? Okay, so for today, I think for now, for this holiday, I think we can stop today. And I wish you all the best when you go back to school. Okay. But you can send me some of the assignments that you have done. I'm asking the ones that I gave you. Eh? Yeah. Oh, Austin. You left them with Austin, eh? How is he? Is he revising well? Okay, so maybe if there is any issue, you can contact me, okay? Yes. Have a nice time.